So let's go into the solar shed here. So we have 20 T105 batteries in a 24 volt configuration. Here we have a split phase 240 volt Ames inverter, 6,000 watts, surges to 12,000, I believe. Over here we have an Ames, 3,000 watt inverter, but it's not split phase, it's only 120 volts. This one feeds outlets that we installed on the house. It also has an AC backhaul coming in from the grid to help charge the batteries when it's cloudy or dark. This inverter energizes the entire house. We've discovered a gap. So we ran into a problem when we were left off the grid because the power was out in the entire county. And our well pump kept tripping this breaker and this inverter every time it started up. So we discovered that the well pump, after putting an amp meter on the wires here, that every time the well pump and the pressure tank started up, they were pulling 60 to 90 amps. And that was zapping our batteries. I don't even know if you can see that. Let me go ahead and turn this light off. So right now we're at 27.2 volts. So what we need to do is get a slow start well pump that won't zap our batteries when it starts up. Our well pump was installed in 2003 and it's not efficient. So that's number one. Number two, I discovered that our little Honda generator is pretty useless for us unless we hook it up to the small inverter. The DC output is only 12 volts. We also discovered on our other two generators that the DC output is also only 12 volts. This generator also only outputs 120 volts. So it means we can only backhaul charge with that little guy through this inverter here. Our two larger inverters, we can connect to here, but we need a NEMA L1430 connector to connect to the generator on one end. And then the other end we'd just wire to this. So what we're going to do is we're going to get an outlet and install it on the outside of the shed, the solar shed here. That way we can connect the generator to the outlet and have then we just wire the outlet directly to this. Then we can charge through here when it's cloudy and we're off grid completely. So anyway, the goal is to replace this inverter eventually with, we have a Magnum 4,000 watt inverter, split phase, 240 volt. We're also going to be replacing this TriStar 60 amp MPPT charge controller and this Xantrax 35 amp PWM charge controller. Right now these two charge controllers are not working in tandem. They're literally fighting each other. So we're going to replace them with a couple of Outback 60 amp charge controllers working in tandem. We removed our wind turbine because, well, it didn't produce any electricity for us because there's not enough wind here unless we're in a windstorm, which is rare. Also, it's important, one thing that we've learned, put labels on everything. For instance, we have DC in, data. This is a battery sensor. I need to rewire that. Do the hillbilly thing and just tuck it away. We label just about everything. I even write on the conduit what direction the flow is going. And then any connectors are labeled. That way we always know where everything's connected. Main battery. Let me turn the, I don't know if you can read the A, you can read that. Everything has a label. I even label or write with a Sharpie. This needs to be rewritten. The steps to switch over to the house. 1, 2. This is actually 3. I don't know why 3 is not written on there. But anyway, well, that's an update. And thanks for watching. This is High Tech Hillbilly out.